Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your weekly general taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are the general energies, trends and themes that we're likely to all be experiencing over the course of the week. So what happens here is I go into my intuition, I ask every week for a message. Sometimes this will be a thought, a feeling, a colour, a word. Sometimes it will be like a mini movie scene that plays out in my head. It just depends what the message from the all is that they want to share. And ultimately these were developed by the Radiant Reality community, as I always say. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of Radiant Reality. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So the key, or should I say the message for the week, the intuitive message this week was, it's time to work on your inner powers. Whatever you perceive them to be, whether this is a psychic ability, whether it is an inner faculty that maybe you have developed or utilized over some time. This could even be the power of prayer. It could be some kind of spell work. This is really, this week you are supposed to tap into or to work on your innate gifts, whatever they might be. So everybody, and I truly believe this, everybody has an innate skill. You know, some people can write, some people can run really fast, some people are really quick-witted or really funny. You know, we all have an inner skill, but we also have an innate quality that allows us to really navigate the world in some way. And so whatever your innate faculty or ability is, whether this is the power to dream, whether it's the power to see the future, whether it is the ability to heal, you know, whatever your innate power is, this is a week for you to really reconnect with it and start working on it. So when I went into my intuition this week, the scene that I saw play out, and you probably have seen this in loads of films, TV shows, etc. The thing that played out in my mind was, you know, when you see, like, to demonstrate magic or a power of some sort, you see like a ripple in the air. It's clear, it's not necessarily a colour or anything, or even a light like they used to do in the 90s, showing my age now. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know, it's not like that now, it's just like a ripple in the fabric of reality, and it tends to be clear. So what I understand that as is your innate or intangible qualities or abilities, and these are the things that you should be working on or focusing on over the course of. So for our destiny card, our overarching energy, trend or theme for the week ahead, this week I'll be using, I mean, I always like using these, but I really am starting to enjoy using them more, especially for this specific week ahead reading. So for the destiny card, or the overarching energy, trend or theme, we have the gate 24 and returning. And so the message behind this is, it's not just about things or people coming back from the past. And as we step into September, we're talking about retrograde season, right? Mars has gone into shadow. Mercury is moving into shadow on the 9th of September, will go retrograde. We've got Uranus retrograde. There's a whole bunch of retrograde energy that's going to come in as of this month. So we really are, from this week onwards, stepping into retrograde city. With that said, this card, like I said, it's not just about things or people coming back from the past. It's about bringing old ideas or qualities or powers or abilities back into the fold. Something that you used to be able to do, some innate gift or skill that you already have that you haven't used for a time. This is about bringing something back into the flow of your everyday existence. So this week it really is about assimilating your past, or reconnecting with your past in some way, shape or form, or reconnecting with some aspect of yourself that you haven't utilized for a long time. This may also be a time as well for a lot of people where wrapping up or closing up old cycles, old things that have, and there's this idea, there's a guy called Jack Canfield who wrote lots of really great books, including one of my favorite books of all time. It's called How to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. It's a red book, and it's probably about this thick, but it's just really great. And what he's done is chunked down everything that you need to know about success, really. And I love this because one of the ideas that he puts forward in that book is this idea of attention units. When you've got something that is left undone, unfinished, unsaid even, it takes up space in the back of your brain. You might not consciously be aware of it all the time, but it is taking up space in the back of your mind because it's unfinished or it's not complete. This could be a week where you really start to think about the things that are left undone, the things that are left unsaid, and you could go about really implementing whatever you need to in order to get that done. I actually really like this. I think it could be great for sort of moving towards the end of certain projects, or at least making a really good dent in ones that you've got open. For our direction cards, so the energies, how do we best tap into this gate 24 energy? Through the Page of Swords, so by really sitting down with a pen and paper and getting very clear on what looks like, what the path ahead looks like. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, so this is really about getting the most out of what you haven't yet utilized. What I mean by that is it's about squeezing out of things what you haven't really utilized, what you haven't actually used. And then we've got the Page of Pentacles, right? So we've got two pages here, which represents disquiet. This may be a time where you're having to upset your own personal status quo. And it might also be a time where you're really starting to think about ways that you can refine the experience that you're having. Even if that puts you at odds with somebody, even if that's making ripples, making waves. I'm going to be really honest with you. I do kind of get the feeling that something that we're going to want to press on with may come up against barriers, may come up against naysayers. It might even be that people, you know, there's something that you try to do and somebody tries to stop you for any number of reasons. And it looks like a lot of us are going to get really loud about this. What this also suggests as well, you are embarking on a new, or all of us in some way, shape or form, we're embarking on a new journey this week that allows us to see things not only from a different perspective, but also to really get a deeper understanding of our own personal brand of wisdom, and more importantly, what it's going to take to implement all of those. So for our insight cards, what are the energies that are coming in that we may not be aware of at this moment in time, or that we need to be aware of moving forward? We have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so one insight that we're having at the moment is whatever you're doing, you have to take the grounded approach. There's no cutting corners this week. Whatever needs to be done, you have to do it the right way. You have to do it the hard way. This is about taking the road through rather than the way around, all right? No shortcuts this week. With the Six of Wands, because by doing it the right way the first time round, doing it the Saturnian way, let's say, not only do you tap into your own victory, but also the resources that you might need, especially the inner ones, are going to develop because of the hard work. So there's something this week, there is a test in this, all right? It's really interesting that that message is coming up right now, because as I'm recording this, the day before, when I say I was sick, I mean like I haven't been that sick since 2018. It was actually a really scary experience for me. And then we've got this with the Queen of Wands. So a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, could feature for us this week. This also suggests to me as well that one of these, or maybe one of the opportunities that's coming back in, comes through a fire sign, potentially through a fire sign woman. What I will also say as well, in terms of things that we need to know at this moment in time, your victory and success is going to require hard work. There are no shortcuts this week. You're going to have to set to it, whatever it is that needs to be done. If you, especially for those of you that are starting something new this week, maybe some new project, maybe some new idea, maybe some new regime, this week is going to be really hard, because whatever you're doing, you're starting it with retrograde energy, and this means that you're going against the tide. But if you can sustain this week, you will be fine from here on in. So whatever mountains you have to cross, move, crack into in order to move forward this week, you do so. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week, and let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I was going to say, actually, in terms of the wider world stage, this I actually think is going to be a dispute. The direction cards actually speak to a dispute or a challenge over the aesthetic of a certain person. So there's going to be a lot of questions, you know, like this whole has so-and-so had work done and blah, blah, blah. But there's something specifically about image or aesthetics. With the insight cards here, this on the wider world stage, this is very much going to be somebody that has, what we'll see here is somebody that has acquired a fortune, but maybe not necessarily by the best of means. That's one way that this could show up. It could also show up as well as somebody who has been super successful that is now divulging how they've done it. This could very much be like a rags to riches story, so I'll be intrigued to see how that plays out. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.